Welcome, nerds, geeks, wrestling marks, and everything in between. Welcome to the second edition of the Gaming Ringside with Bigfoot podcast. I am your host, Str8edge187, joined once again by Doctadajman. And tonight we're going to be talking about our afterthoughts of Gamescom. First we're going to touch on the topic of the Blizz Q&A about the new expansion Legion. Crickets. Because that's pretty much what I remember about it. How about you, Doctor? It was really uneventful, don't you think?
The Q&A?
Yeah, the Q&A.
Yeah, it was like an hour and 30 minutes for 20 minutes of content. It sucked.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I heard them correctly when they made the announcement, and I'm pretty sure I read on the website as well, it was supposed to have been a Q&A with the fans. And we mentioned that on the first podcast. We were talking about, how we were excited about the fact that there was going to be somebody who asked a really tough question in that audience, and we were going to react to it, talk about it. And that was nowhere to be found. It ended up being the two hosts sitting down with the Three Stooges, and, they talked a little bit about the expansion. I will say this, however. I'll give them credit where credit is due. The two hosts did ask good questions with the limited amount of time that was given to them.
Yeah. Who's the guy who does the female gnome dance?
You're talking about the Asian guy, the host?
No. The one who was like...
Oh, the dev.
Yeah, he was so bad at talking when he was doing the announcement. But he wasn't bad in the Q&A. I think he gave a decent answer. Then again, I think he might have only answered one question.
I call him Chris Metzen Jr., bro. That's what I call him.
Yeah, the Quest guy.
Yeah, the Quest guy, the one that wants to be Chris Metzen, Mr. No Personality.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, well then again, I guess you could say Ian Heizakostas is Mr. No Personality. I don't know, man. I gotta come up with names for all of them.
Did you see the look on his face when they were talking about the freaking flying mounts? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't care how much you want to play that off, it was laughable. I don't care how much you want to play that off because you're in a professional setting with somebody interviewing you, dude. He legit looked pissed off. Seriously, man, fuck off. Are you really going to ask me that on camera? I am so tired of answering this question. Poor Heizakostas, but not really.
Yeah, man, I'm just glad he didn't condemn another spec or whole class to nothingness, because the last time he had to go through this flying mount debacle, well, it's just demonology's turn to be the worst.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, I'll tell you what, after this whole experience with the whole flying mount, then I guarantee you, come Legion, come the end of Legion, towards the end, they're not going to stick with this whole achievement crap, man. I guarantee you, they're just gonna go back to the old system where when you get to the end, they'll come up with something where you pay an obscene amount of gold and you're just gonna be able to fly, man. I guarantee you.
Yeah, dude, that's the same come the end of this, even.
Yeah, well, right now they're trying to sell it to you as, you gotta get this Lord Walker here, and you gotta do every single quest in Draenor, and you have to get, Exalted with 3 factions in Tanan Jungle. Sure. For another maybe 90 days, and that's being polite about it, because it's like we always speculated. These poor fools who are doing all these achievements to be able to fly in Draenor. Yeah, about 2 months after that, you're gonna get it for free, bro. I feel bad for you if you're grinding out this faction stuff and all these quests and all this crap, because the fact of the matter is, 2 months after that, everybody's gonna be able to fly.
Yeah, and it doesn't even matter if everyone can fly, because no one's gonna be in Draenor in 8 months once they release the next expansion. That's the thing. Every expansion leaves the old content desolate, man.
Yeah, it becomes a wasteland.
By the time you get to a point where you could fly there, it doesn't matter because you're moving on to the next continent and the next expansion's worth of leveling anyways.
Exactly. That's what makes it even more ridiculous. Yeah, bro. Cool, man. Congratulations. You just did all that to be able to fly around your garrison. Are you telling me that you're going to grind out all that crap to fly in Draenor when come Legion, you're going to go back to Draenor to do what? Hang out in your garrison? I don't think so, man. It's like I said, it's laughable. I laugh at people that are actually taking the time to do it.
Hell, I don't even take the 5 minutes to grind out so that I have a shipyard. By the way, if someone, I need to look up what the ships look like, because I've still never even seen a shipyard, man.
Hey man, it's okay. I think I only did one shipyard mission, and that was the introductory one to, teach you how to do it. I really don't care, man. I don't think I'm ever going to see a legendary ring. I think I'm happy with my 715.
Yeah, people come into the guild chat and they talk about doing their shipyard missions, and I just kind of chuckle, and I don't know, poor souls.
Yeah, I'm reading about mythic guilds that are downing Archimon without having a single legendary ring in the group. Well, that's my inspiration.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's move on to some of the questions that they did ask the Three Stooges at Gamescom. They brought up the artifact weapons, and they did a good job in doing so. I like the fact that the lady whose name always escapes me, she said, "So how is this whole artifact thing going to work? Well, are weapons still going to drop?" And what I was, thinking and speculating pretty much was confirmed by Mr. Hazakostas. Now, keep in mind, people, because I don't want to hear this crap later on. Well, Mr. Str8edge, you and Doctadajman said that it was No, it's not a lock-in. Everybody needs to keep in mind that at this point, everything is pure speculation. And we all know how Blizzard likes to change everything at the last minute. Just because they're saying now that this is going to be this way, believe me, Blizzard pulls their last-minute crap all the time. So right now it's all pure speculation. But Mr. Hazakostas is claiming that weapon drops pretty much are going to be gone, for the most part, in Legion. And instead of weapon drops, you're going to have what he calls relics. And these relics are going to be used to customize your artifact weapon. Now, I got to say, I think this could be absolutely fucking brilliant. Now, if you're going to implement a system such as that, it's obvious they're going to have to make these artifact weapons transmoggable. Because if there's no other weapon drops, I don't care how many skins, color variations you add, man, it's still going to get repetitive.
Yeah, they've pretty much confirmed that they're going to be transmoggable, which is good because I'd just play old content if it came down to it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I going back to what I was saying about the relics, I do like that system a lot. In essence, what'll happen is you're doing a raid, you're doing a dungeon, instead of a weapon drop, you're going to get a relic that, more than likely, what I'm going to speculate is that you'll have a certain type of relic that gives the weapon a certain amount of damage per second, or gives the weapon a certain amount of spell power. You'll have another type of relic that'll give the weapon critical strike, mastery, what have you, yada, 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 so on and so forth. A combination of stats.
Yeah, it'll just be another tier piece, basically. Every boss will drop. What I envision is that, every boss will drop a relic for one of 3 specs, and then those 3 specs get to roll on it, because you have to remember these relics aren't like the weapons are for every spec. They're not, it's not, oh, mages get 1 staff. No, every spec is going to get their own artifact weapon, and you're going to have to get relics to upgrade every spec's artifact.
Yeah, and the fact that every single spec gets a weapon on paper, it's very, very exciting. Now, so help me God, Blizz, if this whole thing about every spec getting their weapon turns out to be just a rehash of the same exact quest line with just a rename or a reskin of a character in the quest line to make it seem like it's for the different weapon, oh my god, that's my fear when it comes to this whole artifact weapon thing, where each spec gets their own style artifact weapon, because we all know how Blizz loves to rehash old content. I'm hoping right now, and I was thinking about it the other day, it's like, please don't make it the same exact area, the same exact place to go with each spec, and it's just worded differently or skinned differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The quest lines, they gotta be unique. It would be so boring not to. But it'll just be nice to, I don't know, I like the idea of not needing to transmog my weapon every week when I get a new one or whatever.
Yeah, like, if so help me, if I see every single Death Knight having to go to Ice Crown, that's just absolute living crap, Blizz. I mean, it's not that complicated. Have a Frost Death Knight, like you said, go to ICC to dig up the shards of Frostmourne. Have an Unholy Death Knight, I don't know, go to there's a place called the Plague Lands. There's so much freaking. That's the thing. The world is so massive. Use the world that you created that's so massive and be creative with it again, you know?
Yeah. They have the Quest team that can do that. It's bigger than ever before, man. That's what we've been... They made a point to mention that. I think Blizzard has made a point to mention how big these development teams are getting. Just about every interview they've had in the last year. Oh, we have the most that we've ever had, yada, yada, yada. Alright, I'm going to tell you, if the most developers you've ever had working on the game was only able to push out Tanae Jungle for 6.2 and Hellfire, and you guys are going to slap that on and say, that's the content that our biggest team ever, you know what? It's time to start looking at quality over quantity, because we can't have that continuing, or you're not going to have any more players to pay your subs with at all.
Yeah, see, and that's... You mentioning that, we're kind of going back to what we were talking about last week, where, you know, and there's already people coming to Blizzard's defense. Oh, well, it's clear that huge team of WoW developers that they say they have now, you know, the reason it all sucked is because they were all concentrating on Legion, and they needed to make Legion as badass as they possibly could. And you know what? That could very well be true. We don't know. But like you said, you know, if it's not, this whole model, you know, my fear is that over time, what we're going to end up getting is like a Windows model. You know, Microsoft is notorious with Windows. You know, Windows 95 was awesome. Windows 98 completely sucked. Or no, actually, it was the other way around. Windows 95 sucked. Windows 98 was good. Windows 2000 was complete garbage. Windows XP, awesome. You know, and so on and so forth. I fear that because of this whole pushing out expansions quicker because they have a bigger development team is going to mean that one's going to suck and one's going to be awesome. And we're just going to be caught in this, you know, merry-go-round, or I'm sorry, this roller coaster.
Yeah, the worst part about that is just the 10 levels every year. No one wants, especially if you're an alt whore like I am, no one wants to level 8 characters 10 times through the same content every year. Like, every 2 years is a pain. Every year is going to really suck.
Yeah, and I really don't, I hope, like I said last week, I hope they don't expect people to do what we did with WoD on a yearly basis, because it's just not plausible. It's a detriment. You know, like I said before, it's more cons than pros. Going back to what I was saying about the legendary weapons, do you think... There you hear my cell phone going off. I'm getting a text message. That's right. I got the gnome laugh, bro. The gnome laugh.
It's a solid sound, man.
I'm not a fanboy. Why the hell would you think that? There's no evidence to support that claim.
None.
But anyways, no, like I was saying, what do you feel that the whole artifact weapon thing, this whole, you know, like I said, pure speculation, the relic thing, do you think it'll stick? Or do you think it's going to be a one expansion deal?
I hope it sticks. I think it would be awesome. Hopefully, I don't know. How do I say this? If it sticks, I like the idea of having a talent tree each expansion to add on, not these talents the talents that we have now, but like a legit options. Hopefully they're just trying it out and they'll add other stuff. At the same time, think about how much more time they can spend developing other aspects of the game instead of creating all of these different weapons all of the time. They can just add new stats, put in a new relic, call it good. Like, the content, they could put more into other aspects of the content instead of trying to get new skins for every single weapon. I think this is going to open up an opportunity where, you know, maybe they've said, well, we have all of the weapons we can make. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the art that's been coming out here in WoD as far as weapon skins go. So I think it'd be nice to just have these and be able to transmog and use what is available to us already.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Preach, and if you don't know who Preach is, check out the YouTube channel Preach Gaming. The dude is rock solid. You want to learn about your class, you need to go watch his videos. He was mentioning something that made a lot of sense. We're living in an age more and more in WoW, hell, in any game really, where it's all about aesthetics. I mean, look at how transmog has taken off. I don't think there's a single person in the game that I've come across that just wears the tier set and that's it. Everybody loves the transmog. Transmog is a thing, bro. It's a Queen Patrick's dream. You know what I mean? I think that they can take this whole concept that they have in mind for PvP with the prestige, and there's going to be certain weapons that are pretty much just going to be for aesthetics, for transmog. I think they can take that a step further going forward. If they embrace this whole artifact weapon deal, or this format where you pretty much just customize the weapon, and because you're going to transmog it anyway, they can just release skins and put in quest lines or achievements that literally just grant you a look. You know, just a skin for your weapon. You know, I think that could really take off. Now, however, let's just talk about the downside for a second. We all know that Blizz is greedy and they love their money. So I could already see it on the Blizz store. Buy this weapon for $5, or this weapon skin for $5.
Yeah, it makes a lot of money. Look at Riot with Guild Wars 2, or ArenaNet with Guild Wars 2. They have done their in-game store. I gotta give this out to ANET and Guild Wars 2 and their team as far as the amount of content that they're able to put out, which when you break it down, it's really just like, here, if Blizz said, we're going to release one of these 12 zones that we're making every month for a year, or every 2 months for the next 2 years, that's basically what Guild Wars 2's content patches are. But you always feel like you're progressing. So that's good. All that aside, their store is hands down the best that I've seen.
Yeah. And I'm not necessarily disagreeing with it. You know, because I know that sometimes I sound like it's only Blizzard that does it, and evil Blizzard, screw you. I love to hate you, you sons of bitches. But I forgive you, you know, because it's just that love-hate with Blizzard, man. We all have it. We all have it. But going back to the Q&A, do you want to touch on lore at all? Because I'm not sure if you want to touch on lore. You know, it's if I bring up Khadgar, you know what happens when I bring up Khadgar.
Sorry, I just fell asleep for a second. An enraged sleep. Like, it's an enraged sleep. Khadgar. Ugh, we're not even going to speak that name. I think we should ban it from the podcast, like, altogether. All right, but, you know, we could talk about how Gul'dan is pretty much raising Illidan from his demon prison. We can talk about that. We don't have to make any mention of Khadgar whatsoever, bro. Whoa. It's he who shall not be named, man.
Okay, sorry. We don't have to mention he who shall not be named.
Yeah, Gul'dan. That dude's a beast. He who shall not be named could probably, like, one-shot him, but instead he's too busy, you know, crafting jewelry instead of letting the jewel crafters do it.
Now he's too busy. Magic. Right now he's too busy just moving Dalaran from Northrend to the Broken Isles, bro. That takes a lot of work.
Yeah, let's not just go and find Gul'dan and kill him, you know, teleport and blink around the world to wherever he is. Instead, let's focus our energies on moving an entire city halfway around the world.
Okay, but hold on. The thing is, though, right now, not Khadgar. I'm sorry. He who shall not be named. This is going to be hard for me.
Right I know, now, it's because you're a Khadgar fan, like you're a Blizzard fanboy.
I am not a Khadgar fan, man. Listen, right now, we can't get to Gul'dan. Nobody can get to Gul'dan. He's in the Twisting Nether. He's in the demonic realm. Nobody can get to him. Only warlocks can get to, technically, to Gul'dan.
Yeah, and mages couldn't travel through time, except Khadgar was able to bring, like, all of Stormwind through a portal through 30 years.
Yeah, but he's an archer. ...
Oh, okay, sorry. all I'm saying is he who shall not be named needs to get on Gul'dan's level. I'd much rather follow Gul'dan through this expansion, knowing that he's gonna effing win, than following Khadgar and being his little slave.
Yeah, something that we did not touch on in the last podcast, because I know we talked about Legion a lot, but we didn't touch on lore that much. I kind of gave an overall synopsis about how I had a nerd boner, and I was excited about all the possibilities, and I was like, please, Blizzard, don't screw it up. Illidan, man. Illidan is back. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited, man. I want to join the winning team. Third faction, please. Just the part of the Legion. Like, I don't know. I can see most of my characters giving up their souls, becoming demons, and rocking it with the Legion, dude. That green fire.
Yeah, man. As soon as I saw those tattoos light up in that prison, ask Elizabeth, my fiance. Oh boy. Yeah, she felt like I was cheating on her.
Yeah, Illidan's a pretty sexy man.
Yeah, man. So it's exciting. And then the trolls. Oh, Illidan's dead. Blizz bringing back a dead character just because they need subs back. Yeah, well, newsflash, bro. Learn your lore. Demons don't die on Azeroth. When you kill a demon, they just go back to the Twisting Nether, and they're supposed to be in prison for 10,000 years. Obviously, what Gul'dan is doing is he's breaking him out of that prison way before he should have ever been let out. That's all that's happening.
So I have a question on that. The demons that we're killing currently, are we going to see yet another return of a bunch of old bosses rehashed and handed to us on a new plate to dice up in a new setting?
Now would be the time to do it because of the nature of the expansion. It makes sense. Yes, because of what it's very possible. I predict that you're more than likely going to see probably Archie again in Legion. Don't be surprised. You'll definitely, well, I don't want to say definitely because then they'll be like, Mr. Str8edge, you said we were going to see. No, well, more than likely you may see Kill Jaden.
Yeah, man, they can bring back most of Sunwell, a bunch of Hyjal.
All those guys.
Yeah, I don't know, it's pretty smart what they're doing. Star Trek, like all over again, dude.
Yeah, that's because the gates are open, and Mr. Lack of Personality, the way he was explaining, because he was in charge, I guess, of explaining the story. When he was explaining what happens in the Broken Isles, where there's literally this demonic portal that just explodes open, and it's infinite amount of demons just pouring through. It's like it's inconceivable what's going on. And the more you kill, the more that appear. It's pretty much like facing the Undead Scourge again. And the Burning Legion's like the Undead Scourge, but like on steroids.
Yeah, man. Cue the Hydra scene from Hercules, man, where he's killing that. Every head you chop off, more come up. Like I said, sign me up. I want to be part of the Legion. I'm tired of the Alliance. I'm tired of the Horde. I'm ready to be a demon, dude.
Does this mean that now you're excited about Demon Hunter? Because the last time we talked about it, you were like, yeah, have fun.
No, I don't want to be a demon hunter. I just want to be the demon that hunts the hunter. You know what I'm saying? Turn the hunter into the hunted, man.
Well, you're saying that you want to roll a lock, bro. Demonology.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because I understand. Ian made it very clear. It's Demonology's turn to be the worst, man. It's their turn to suck.
Yeah, I know. Mr. Hasakosta sometimes, I think he says things sometimes out of anger, and he regrets it like maybe 5 minutes later. I don't know, man.
Yeah, he was... it's just the flying topic. If you want to know what class is gonna suck, tell him what your favorite class is, and then talk to him about flying.
Yeah, exactly. They did touch on one thing, however, that does have me excited. Going back to the Q&A for a second. The lady asked, I think it was Mr. Hazakostas, about talents. And they did say that they have this completely revamped vision for talents in Legion where professions are going to have a quest line, and it's going to be a lot more intricate and not just one-dimensional like they have been. Like you may have to actually go on a quest to earn a certain recipe to craft the best stuff that your profession can craft, which is very good.
It's the BDC all over again. Burning Crusade offered that. A quest line in order to create whatever you were going to create. Back when you could craft basically tier 5.5 and catch up an alt so that you could get into, so you could start the whole keying process and whatnot, the attunement process.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now, that's exactly what needs to happen. But it's sad that we have to say after 8 years that that's what needs to happen when it's something that's already been in the game in the past. What is it with this pattern?
Well, that's the same thing with talent trees themselves. We're just seeing them on a weapon now.
Yeah, it's is this a sign of things to come? Does this mean that, you know what, maybe all the effing fanboys are right? We need to go back to our old ways and embrace what this game was all about, or it's just rehash of old shit because they've run out of ideas and things to do.
No, I think they want to go back to the way it was, but they have to be very careful because there's a reason they moved away from that stuff. It's too hard to have 100 options in one talent tree but only be able to spend 60 points. That's too difficult. How do I know that I'm making the most powerful me that I can, dude?
Yeah, well, let's not talk about how it's too hard for certain people to have to deal with that period. What do you mean I have to take certain points and put them in a tree? That's too complicated.
Yeah, that's what I'm scared about with the weapons. Is that, we're going to be able to put in these traits, as they're calling them right now, and your weapons are going to have these trait trees. But trait tree doesn't mean anything to me if there are 10 possible traits and I have 9 to choose from. Because I have 9 points max. Why? That's going to be... Just make it passives. Just make it passive. Introduce more RNG into the way we play. And, yeah, let's see what happens. Just keep it going. By the way, having listened to Preach again on why he's a tank, I listened to that today. Just for like the 6th or 7th time because I had nothing else to do and I was working on that. But I went into the game and I dual spec'd my warrior into Fury. And here's the sad thing, man. I fought at the dummy doing the same rotation, like for a minute at a time, probably 5 or 6 times, and every single time it was
different,
drastically different.
Yep. That's RNG.
But that's what happens when we're trying to lower everything and we just go onto the passive spree, man. And that's what we need to get away from. And that's what I'm worried about with these weapons, is that you're just going to be able to toss in and, the traits are just going to be more passive stuff, more chances for this to happen, more chances for that to happen, and you're just going to end up filling the entire thing up and spending every trait that's there to be filled. It's just going to be another grind. It's like back when you used to have to level your weapon skills.
Do you think that it's a step on their part to start to do away with that, though? To start to do away with the RNG aspect and give more control to the player?
I'd hope so, but it's how they go about doing it. Right now we can only speculate, and personally I'm kind of on the doubtful, very untrusting side, because I have seen where the player truly had options, and I have seen where that was completely taken away. Having you get to pick 1 out of 3 choices every 15 levels. You used to have to put 1 point out of 20 different choices every level. I miss that day, honestly. I really do. And this could go either way. I'm hoping it goes one way, but the player base is a lot different now, and there's a reason they moved away from it in the first place.
Yeah, right now the loyal fanboys that always end up giving Blizz that last chance over and over and over again are on the edge of their seats like, oh my god, this could finally be it. Are we going back to the old ways? Is this the beginning? Never before since Wrath have we seen it come this close again. It's the first time in 3 or 4 expansions that we're seeing a system that's mildly like what used to be in place before, and that's on a weapon. My wishful thinking part is, like I said last week, it's them playing around with the idea of possibly just bringing back talent trees, period. But like you just said, my scared side says it's just a gimmick for an expansion, and it'll be in Legion, and that's it. That's my absolute fear, because they have the right idea with it, man. They do need to stick with it.
Yeah, I think they just want to see how it's going to turn out. They're putting their feelers out there. Personally, they should have done that with a smaller expansion or a pre-patch, like what WoD turned into, but...
Oh, you gotta always hit below the belt. That's why they call him the Doctor. He knows the anatomy. He knows where to hit you where it hurts.
Something like that.
Now, the Q&A. Oh gosh, what more can we say about the Q&A? That was pretty much it, wasn't it? They didn't they were good questions. They asked I think they asked the top 3 or 4 questions that everybody wanted to know about. Man, I really wish that they would have gone with the Q&A from the audience, man, because who loves the game more than the real fans that play it? That's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear people like, hey, bro, where the hell's my major city, man? And why the hell should I trust you with another $60?
Yeah, exactly. They're saving that for BlizzCon, hopefully.
Yeah, well, they always do Q&A panels at BlizzCon. And so help me, if they do the same crap that they pulled last year, where I think I talked to you about this a few weeks back, where they're like, yeah, please, no class questions. We're not going to answer any class questions. We don't give a shit about the fact that you just spent $350 on your ticket to be here. We don't care. You're not allowed to ask any questions about classes. Like, bro, I just paid, most people, for a lot of people, a quarter of their freaking paycheck. I can ask whatever the hell I want. You're going to freaking put restrictions on me and I can't ask a class question? Seriously? I just hope that they don't pull that crap again this year, man.
Well, you can ask whatever question you want. Whether or not it gets answered or dismissed is different. What I dislike about it is that they'll refer you to their class forums. Name the last time a developer posted anything in the class forums.
Yeah, I think it's down to maybe something like once or twice a month if we're lucky. And every
not
time...
in the class. No,
oh, not in the class? Oh, I'm talking about the general one. Never mind.
Yeah, you're talking about the whole world of forums. They might post once or twice a week and the
robot talk.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Now you got to get into the tweeter, man, and I don't do that crap.
Well, they don't do much on Twitter either, man. Okay, hey, I can give you a sample of a tweet. I got 3 of them today.
I'm ready.
We continue to investigate issues with the World of Warcraft armory. Please stay tuned for updates. That one was sent about 2 or 3 times today. And then, when it was mildly different is, we continue to look into issues affecting the World of Warcraft armory. It seems to be a problem with our main authentication server. Stay tuned for an update.
And that's one of my biggest beefs with Blizzard right now, is that they do not keep in touch with the consumer at all. They don't communicate with us.
Yeah, we're supposed to
water
believe...
cooler, screw that, dude. What the hell is that?
Yeah, we're supposed to believe this is actually a person on a keyboard. Yeah, I don't think so, man. This is an effing program talking to me on Twitter. I don't buy that for one single second. And that's part of the that's a major part of the issue right now in general with the game. I mean, all the games, really. I mean, your entire community spanning across everything. You have to at least mildly act like you give a shit, Blizz. It's not that hard, dude. Somebody assign someone to at least talk to us like a person. Last time I looked in a forum and saw a dev or a blue talking to somebody in a forum, the way that they responded to the person's comment or question is almost as if they were talking down to them, like they were being bothered by the fact that they had to answer the question.
Yeah, I might give the man crap. Everyone in the community, well, maybe not everyone, but I'd probably say the vast majority of the people in the community hated him. But when Ghostcrawler was first here, that crab, his little avatar, was in the forums, in the class forums, in the role forums, all the time. That dude talked. Even if it was simply, well, that's not going to happen. Too bad, so sad. At least he communicated. At least the man had the balls to upset the community. They're so cautious and so scared of hurting feelings now, or whatever it is, that they won't even say anything to us. And that's That's an outrage.
Yeah, but you know what? Kind of a segue into what I was going to mention. Probably something you did not know. And I found out this information from a tweet of a YouTuber that I watch religiously, Boogie2988. Boogie, I love you, brother. If you haven't checked out Boogie's channel, you definitely need to. Boogie2988 tweets the other day. So I just read that Hearthstone is making Blizzard $20 million a month. What are your feelings and thoughts on that, man? Because the first thing that came to my mind was like, oh, no wonder they don't give a shit about losing 5.4 million subs. They're making $20 million a month off of Hearthstone.
I've never played Hearthstone. I honestly couldn't give you a good comment at all if I tried, man.
Hey, what happened to that research that you promised me, bro? You promised me last week that you were going to do research and be more prepared, man. You're not a very good doctor.
I sort of had a wedding I had to go to, but I wasn't very prepared for that either, so
Doctadajman had a wedding.
Not my wedding, no.
No, I'm saying, but like just the whole thought of Doctadajman at a wedding, like, oh my gosh, that's pretty interesting. Were you wearing the stethoscope? You had been wearing the stethoscope on your head, man. Tell me you were sitting in that pew with the stethoscope on your head.
That would be really awesome. Yeah, but I wasn't, no.
Dude, you need to start wearing that thing everywhere. But let's not get off topic. Yeah, man, Hearthstone. So because of the fact that you didn't do your research, Hearthstone is pretty much it's like Magic the Gathering pretty much, but in digital form. And the way they make their money, it's free to play.
It's the trading card game.
Right, it's free to play. The way they make their money is by buying decks. The decks that they give you by not paying are laughable. See, because that's the thing. I will say this. Heroes of the Storm, and I don't want to get too much into Heroes of the Storm because we can do 2 entire podcasts on just Heroes of the Storm, probably more. I love Heroes of the Storm. The format that they have in Heroes where you actually do have a shot to be good and have fun and competitive without spending a lot of money because you can use the gold in the game to buy heroes, that's cool. I do like that format. However, what they consider a passable format for those that don't want to spend a single cent is laughable. The decks that they give you for, and you're not spending any money, there's no way in hell that you could get ahead playing Hearthstone just for what they give you if you don't spend any money on it. So that's pretty much how they make their money, man. People buying decks. I mean, it's kind of Boogie's like the most guilty motherfucker out there when it comes to that. He's like, dude, I bet you half of that a month is from me because I buy like 50 decks. I shit you not, on a bi-weekly basis. That dude is insane. He's a monster.
Yeah, I played the actual trading card game once. I raided Naxxramas. One of my buddies had the Naxxramas deck. I don't know if there's correlation between them.
Nerd!
But, yeah. Laugh while you can. I had no access to a computer. I had no access to really anything. It was just us. We didn't even have a TV, so...
Oh,
but yeah, a lot of fun. But I played that, and from what I've seen of Hearthstone, it's kind of just the game, everything that they already had built up, scanned in, and now they're selling it for money on there too. And my only question is the mounts that you can get in WoW. Through the trading card game, is that strictly the trading card game, or do you have chances of getting those bonuses for the game while you're buying your decks in Hearthstone?
No. The stuff that you buy on the auction house, like, I assume you're talking about like the Spectral Tiger and all that stuff. Yeah, no, that's only like the trading card game, which technically the trading card game doesn't exist anymore. It does exist. They don't make it anymore. The only way you're able to get them is by buying them on eBay from people that were collectors. That's my understanding. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
I have no idea. I played once and it wasn't even my deck. I'd rather play Magic, to be honest. Yeah.
It is pretty much essentially the trading card game, but they've tweaked it and I guess it seems pretty neat. It has a huge fan base, man. Like the Hearthstone area at conventions is just as big as Heroes, StarCraft, and WoW, bro. Hearthstone has a huge following.
I might have to check it out, but I don't know. Those are the microtransactions. See, that's the difference.
That's pay to win.
Yes, that's what I don't want to happen. And WoW, I am totally fine with them taking awesome skins for weapons and for transmoggable skins or whatever, and putting them in there and putting a price tag on them. I'm fine with that. Anyone who says that they're not, I think, is
bullshit.
Yeah. Follow the token and make it so that you can buy these skins, put them up on the trade post. Essentially, you're going to take what Guild Wars 2 has and what the Old Republic has, mesh them together. The only downside is that World of Warcraft and Blizzard and Activision, it would be double dipping, which I don't like. I don't like the idea of the double dipping, where you have your sub fees and you have your in-game store. But as long as it's not pay to win, even though I hate double dipping, it's fine by me. Do what you're gonna do. I don't mind that. But the whole idea of you're gonna get garbage cards unless you're paying money for the decks, yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't even think I could go in and be competitive right now. I would never be able to be competitive in that game without dropping a sizable sum of money.
Yeah, I actually got into a little bit of a debate with a fellow player in game and WoW the other day about that in guild chat actually. And they were saying, like, oh, you're doing the same thing. You're being a hypocrite because you play Heroes. I'm like, yeah, Heroes setup is nothing like that, which I'm thankful for. And for the love of Christ, Bliss, if you ever go down that road with Heroes of the Storm, go ahead and kill that game. Go ahead and kill the game. Go ahead and kill that game that is actually freaking... It could actually have the potential to be on par with League. Let's just be real, okay?
It's not a MOBA, though.
Oh, no, that's right. How dare I, man? I just broke a sacred rule, man. I'm a sacrilege. It is not a MOBA. I apologize, Blizz. I just called your game a MOBA. You claim it's not a MOBA. Get the fuck out of here. Don't get me started. But anyways, yeah, don't you dare compare the format in Heroes of the Storm to what it is in Hearthstone. In Heroes, you can actually, it's not pay to win. You can actually unlock heroes earning gold. Granted, it's going to take you a lot longer. But the fact of the matter is, just by playing the game and doing your dailies, you can save up enough gold to buy heroes, which is awesome. I don't mind the fact that they charge people to buy skins. Hey, man, I'm guilty of it. Succubus Kerrigan. FTW, bro.
Yeah.
I love that damn skin. I'm not going to lie.
I like the Pajamather.
Yes, the Pajamather.
That is awesome.
And Lost Boys Vikings. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. The Pajama Party Vikings. Jesus. It's great.
Yeah. So, Heroes. Like I said, I didn't want to get into Heroes, man. We can do a whole week's worth of podcasts just talking about Heroes.
We just had a hell of a match in Heroes.
Man.
That's how we get ready for the podcast.
Yeah, that's our little secret. Just so you all know, that's how we get ready for our podcast. We sit back, stretch our sacks, and we play a few games of Heroes of the Storm, man. Those 2 wins that we got just before we started recording. Holy hell. That's why Dr. Gloom is nowhere to be found tonight. You hear a completely different Doctadajman. He's just on a high right now.
Yeah, man. We took those people to freaking... Oh, my gosh. Owned. Get on our level.
Now, do you think that, getting into Heroes of the Storm a bit, since we're focusing on our afterthoughts with Gamescom, now that Gamescom has come and gone, moving on to Heroes of the Storm for a bit, because there's really not a lot to talk about when it comes to StarCraft. Pretty much when it came to StarCraft, all they talked about was Legacy of the Void. I did hear a lot of positive reviews on Legacy of the Void. Hell, I even thought about checking it out. Now that I've been introduced to the characters, through Heroes of the Storm, I actually want to kind of check out the story and the gameplay in StarCraft, to be honest.
Yeah, I've always been a little bit interested in it, but never enough to go out and buy the game and actually put forth the time and effort to learn it. Yeah,
going back to Heroes, they talked about the new stuff that's coming for Heroes of the Storm. They touched on Karazim, However, not that much because by the time they were at that Q&A, he was already in the PTR. There are some heroes coming out though, man, that have me pretty excited. Did you hear about Rexar?
Tell me what they look like, what they're gonna do, and I'll let you know if I've heard of.
Rexar he's in WoD. He's that quest line in Gorgron, the half orc, the really tall one that has the bird with him that you have to do the quest line where his bird's injured and you have to help him nurse it back to health.
Yes,
that's Rexar. In the game, you're going to get to use our version of Rexar from the regular timeline, where he has Misha, his dog wolf thing, and it's pretty much two heroes. There is no Rexar without Misha, and there's no Misha without Rexar. Like you actually, some of the abilities that you use are Misha abilities. It's pretty much like having a hunter in the Nexus, man.
That'll be cool. It'll be frustrating as hell, but it'll be interesting to see how they do that. A balancing nightmare, I'd imagine. Hopefully it's not like the Lost Vikings, where you have to control each individually. I'd like to see it all bound to the same thing. It would be really unfortunate if you were able to soak 2 lanes and have... Actually, that might actually be a good thing, though. You know, something to counter that.
I can already see people losing their shit with a Rexar that knows what the hell he's doing. Now, obviously, just from looking at it and from talking about it, it's going to be a hard difficulty hero. But it's going to be a major royal pain in the ass to deal with a Rexar that knows what the hell he's doing. Because the fact of the matter is, you can just send Misha to freaking cap, I don't know, a Sun Temple, for example, while Rexar's in the lane soaking XP.
If they're separated. If they're connected, it won't work that way. You know, part of me says separate them and allow them to do their own thing. That way you can counter the XP soak of the Vikings that exists right now. I mean, it's really all they're good for. But you also don't want to offer... Oh man, the Vikings lovers are going to be mad at me right now. Like, those fanboys will be upset. But one way or another, let's just call it what it is. Outside of the XP, you're not doing anything.
It's true. You're pretty much there to soak lanes, man. That's your job. Vikings fanboys, GG capping that eye thing and the temples when we need them and soaking that lane that nobody's in. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Dragonshire. I've seen the Vikings tear that up though.
Yeah, man. Because they send one down to the bottom, they send one to the top, and then the middle one goes and captures the boss. One hero can do 3 things.
Yeah, exactly. Have your team pushing one area or another and rock and roll. But I could get into Heroes Talk all day long. Granted, I'm not the best player in the world.
They talked about a lot of new skins. They talked about there's a Sergeant Hammer skin that pretty much gives her like a horde siege weapon tank skin, man, from WoW.
Oh, that'd be cool. I would invest. Maybe. Yes.
It's
I've never played the game as her.
Sergeant Hammer? Yeah, dude. Yep. Sergeant Hammer's legit. I tried her out on a free week, and she grew on me within 20 seconds, man. Because she has some builds that can do some massive freaking crowd control and some freaking wave clears. I think my favorite part about her is her instant escape, because that Z, the downside is you don't get the constant mount that everybody else can get, but you can hit that Z in the middle of a freaking fight and you just zoom away in 3 seconds, man. You're golden. Her escape is unparalleled.
I don't know, she's one of the, she is a specialist, right?
Yeah, she's considered a specialist.
Okay. Yeah, man. Speed makes, man. Yeah, I just haven't played her, honestly.
Well, I mean, with all those damn heroes already unlocked, I was like, what to choose from? The high and mighty over here.
Yeah, I went a little bit crazy in the beginning, and having tried to play catch-up in a game where there were already 100 heroes or champions in League, trying to play catch up was like impossible, so I decided to just, go crazy, and now I just unlock one every 2 or 3 weeks, and it's a lot easier for me.
Yeah, no, I will say this. Good old Str8edge doesn't spend money on heroes hardly. If there's a skin, hey, I think the only hero that I've bought was Sylvan. No, I take that back. I bought Tyrande also. I like Tyrande. I will be spending $10 on Karazim. Oh my hell, man! Do you need to check out the builds on Karazim? That dude is going to be legit. What I like about him is the fact that he's going to be a melee support, and that you can pretty much build for 3 different ways. He's going to be the first hero that can actually choose his trait, which is very unique.
Well, man, you're sounding like a novice right now, bro. You never buy.
What are you talking about?
With gold on the first day just because they look legit, man.
Come on, don't knock me off my high horse again, bro.
Dude, he will be nerfed to oblivion. This is why you buy heroes on the first day. It's so that you can hopefully grab them, and your team hopefully gets the first pick, because they're going to be OP enough to carry you through Hero League all day long, every day. And then they'll get nerfed, and the next new hero is going to be what you're going to want. And it's just the way MOBAs have been doing it forever. That's the upside, and that's how they make their money. It's almost pay to win, but it's not.
You always have to knock me off my high horses, man. Why can't you just let me have my fantasies, man?
Dude, you said Dr. Gloom wasn't to be found, so I decided I needed to look for him.
Well, you couldn't just leave him asleep, man. You don't have to bring him up. You did it with the gold thing. Now you're doing, let me have my moment with Karazim, okay?
Alright, yo, man. I agree. Oh my gosh. This would be like the best purchase of your life, man. Get him. He's a melee support. He's going to be able to pick trait from the beginning. He's going to wreck face.
You suck. I hate you so much.
For you, dude.
Moving on. Another thing that I was going to bring up was the matchmaking thing, and you could give more insight on this rather than I could, because you're more familiar with things such as these. I was never a League player. The ranking system. They've been getting a lot of flack for the ranking system currently in Heroes, and one of the things the developers addressed was the changes that they're going to be making to the matchmaking and how players are placed as far as ranking is concerned. He mentioned something along the lines as when it came to Hero League and just regular matchmaking, it was going to be the server was going to be a lot more specific about where it placed you depending on your group makeup. For example, it's a promise. It's Blizzard. But he did mention that what they were planning on doing was looking at a system where, let's say you queued solo for Hero League. The server would only place you with other players that queued solo for Hero League. It wouldn't place you with any other teams. And if you had a team of 3 or more, it would only queue you. Like, the people that queue up with a team of 3 or more are kept on a queue by themselves. And only games with people that are queued 3 or more play together. And only people that are queued solo play together. Which is badass. I mean, it sounds badass. I don't know if I know what I'm talking about on that, though.
Yeah, solo and duo queue is a pretty common thing. Being able to queue up with, one other person, and knowing that that's not going to be placing you fighting against teams of 5. Because we've all been in a group where we're totally alone, and we queued solo for one fight, and then the enemy team, by their own admission, is in voice chat, all 5 of them. They're able to coordinate everything, and when you're playing solo, you basically rely on those pings, like, this is where I'm going, hopefully other people go there, and you're more asking your team if they will follow you rather than telling your team and coordinating the fact that we're going to go here. It's more like, we're going to go here, maybe, please, I think.
Yeah, during the queue, man. During the queue, you're just a victim of that Blizzard RNG, bro. You're just a victim of that RNG no matter what game you're playing.
Well, they're gonna add like MMR. It already looks at you, and ranked 1 players, unless you're queuing with your friend who's a rank 50 or whatever, and he's really new to Hero League. Ranked 1 players generally aren't gonna be seeing those, that are a little lower. Not that it's great. I mean, right now I win and I get like 200 points, and
Hey,
I
I got
lose and I lose
347.
like, yeah, you win and you get these ridiculous amounts, and then you lose and it's like, we'll take this much away from you. I am interested to see how exactly that is judged. If it's just like an XP thing, man, Vikings, I don't even care.
Right? But yeah, I mean, apparently they're getting a lot of flack from, obviously, from the elitists. You're gonna have elitists no matter what game it is, man. They don't only exist in WoW. You already have your Heroes of the Storm elitists that are just like, bro, why are you queuing me with these effing noobs that don't know how to soak XP in a lane? Let us freaking elitist assholes have our own league and call it elitist assholes queue. They're already giving them a lot of flack for that.
Yeah, that's just gaming, period, man. It's a new generation. It is not, I don't know, I'm not that old of a gamer. I haven't been doing it for that long, but I can tell you I left and didn't game for a few years at all, and when I came back it was a completely different world.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what genre you were playing, it was a completely different world. And
it was the era of the troll, man. I like to call it the age of the troll.
Yeah,
trolls are everywhere.
Every now and then I like trolling just because I'm the best troll out there, and if you try to troll me, you will face my wrath.
There it is, people. You have your warning. If the day ever comes that we actually see Doctadajman embrace social media and he follows and he starts a Twitter account, don't try to troll Doctadajman, because he is a master troller. He is king of trolls. You know what? I'm gonna start just calling you freaking Zul'jin, man, or Vol'jin. I'm gonna call you Vol'jin, king of the trolls.
I accept that. Only if I can take on demonic powers and become part of the Legion.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but
yo, come on, Blizzard. 3rd faction. It's needed. It's time.
Yeah, I know. I do agree with you on that. I think we do need a 3rd faction. It needs to be Taurens, Pandaren, and Gnomes. Let's start with that. Just those 3 right there.
Yeah.
The misfits, the outcasts.
Yeah, and the demons. We should be allowed in there too.
What the hell? What are you talking about? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Dude, put the Legion with the gnomes, man.
What?
I like gnomes, I like Tauren, I like pandas, and I want to join the winning side.
Oh, you're talking specifically about Legion. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. The gnomes, the Tauren, and the Pandaren, which is a long shot because the Pandaren all are about peace and zen and just providing that balance. I highly doubt that they would join the Legion, man.
Sometimes it takes a wolf to kill a wolf.
Yeah, but the very essence of what the Pandaren are is what is worth fighting for. No way, man.
Dude, some pandas aren't as great as other ones. Maybe the Shah kind of got into my mind, and rock on, dude.
Or maybe they just come from that family from Emerald Dream that were a bunch of freaking mobsters that ran all the crime in Pandaria. You know what? Let's not even bring that up, because then you're gonna get into freaking roleplay mode, and you're gonna, it's oh god, I don't want to.
Yeah, the nerd juices are building up right now, so we got to be careful.
Yeah, this guy, he's an RPer. He's a closet RPer. Had his own little
no closet.
Oh, no closet. That's even better.
I'm out in the open, man. I love that.
Yeah, he was pretty much he was like the Tony Soprano of his little mob squad in Pandaria. Ran it like the freaking Chinese triad. GG, bro. I'm glad you had fun with that.
A hell of a lot of fun. It was better than the excuse for raiding in Mists of Pandaria.
Hey, I'll go kill Garrosh Hellscream and keep you safe, while you go and collect your 3 copper from the farmer down in. I can't even keep a straight face. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, man. I'll follow Garrosh through that time lapse that he's able to get through because someone has to go and finish the job that you were unable to follow up on.
Whoa. What do you mean, man? Hold on a second.
I'm just saying, you didn't kill no Garrosh Hellscream. I watched that fool die. And it wasn't because you were protecting me from him.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, true. But hey, if it wouldn't have been for good old Gary, man, we wouldn't have had the events of WoD. But you know what?
We could only pray for as much.
Now that I think about it, we should have effing killed Garrosh. Because WoD was garbage.
Thank you. But then we wouldn't have had this awesome pre-patch that we paid $60 for.
Yeah. But you know what? I thank him because at least we got to meet Khadgar, bro.
I need Garrosh to become a hero for Heroes of the Storm. I'd actually play him.
I think they should.
You can resurrect him for that.
Yeah. Although I think it's doubtful because doesn't Thrall pretty much in essence have a Garrosh skin?
That would be lame. I don't know.
I think he does, and I think it's one of those theme skins where he talks like Garrosh and everything. I mean, I could be wrong, but I know he has a skin that he's pretty much Garrosh.
I'm finding out right now.
Verify, check it. Real time, bro.
Hellhammer Thrall.
Yeah, Hellhammer Thrall. There you go.
He actually looks more like he is. Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Does he talks like Garrosh, right? Is it a theme skin?
I don't know, I'm gonna find out.
Another beef that I have with Thrall is the second skin. I think it's the Master skin. I hate the fact that they left him with hair on that Master skin, because when he starts wearing that outfit, he'd already shaved his head. Come on, Blizz, what the fuck, man? Call the boys on the second floor who work on WoW and get your shit straight.
Yeah. Blizz.
What the fuck, man? You guys work for the same company.
Pull your heads out and get it right.
Yeah, take that effing hair off of that skin and have him bald, bro. Get it right. You know, when
That's
it
all
comes to
we're
that.
asking.
Yeah, man.
Stop failing.
Did you find out about the voice?
No.
Should be in the shop. I think you can click on the little speaker icon and he'll talk.
Well, I was in there. I didn't want it to come through with the background music.
Let it come through.
All right, we'll see if I can do it.
Silence.
Oh, I launched WoW. I hit the wrong one.
What a noob.
Dude, you could have had this done. I don't know anything about computers. Opening World of Warcraft and getting in on the right characters, enough of a chore, man.
Oh my goodness gracious. I don't remember if I mentioned this on the first cast or not, but Doctadajman and technology just don't get along. It's amazing to me sometimes that he's actually a gamer.
Yeah, I put my own video card into my... Do you hear that?
Kind of, just very faint in the background.
Whatever. I put my own video card into my computer when I got a new one a couple weeks ago, and I can't tell you, I was praying so hard. Pounds. Yeah, I was sweating so much. I was afraid that I was going to go to power it on. I was just going to get a black screen of death and completely ruin my whole rig, but I did it the right way, man.
That was an accomplishment and a half. Now, granted, he had good old Str8edge taking him step by step, calming him down so he wouldn't have a heart attack, but he did it.
Yeah, sure did. Alright, here.
Okay, go ahead.
I can't get it to play the music. Damn, never mind.
I don't care about the music, I just care about the voice.
Okay, give me a second, I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, I just want to see if he actually sounds like Garrosh, because if he does, that means that there will be no Garrosh in Heroes, man.
Where do you get it to play the voice? It's not doing it for me.
In the shop. If you go to the shop and you actually select the skin,
yeah,
it gives you the if it's theme skin, it'll give you the option of pressing the little icon there and he'll talk. If it's not there, that means it's not part of the theme. It doesn't change his voice, which means that Gary could make an appearance, which is a good thing. Because that would have been your indicator right there. If he talked like Garrosh in that skin, that means that Garrosh isn't going to be a playable character.
He just says Loktar.
Yeah, I don't think I ever recall Garrosh ever saying Loktar. Oh, no, actually, no, I do. I do.
I don't know. Oh well. One way or another. Thrall. Useless.
No, man. What are you talking about, bro? Thrall is okay. I liked him when I used him on free week. God, I sound like such a noob. All right, let's cut it there.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks all. Thanks for talking with me and putting up with my sadness.
Yeah, right. No, like I said, Doctadajman was not sad tonight, man. That high from those 2 games that we played. Holy crap! But join us next week on the WoW Talk podcast with Doctadajman and Str8edge. We're actually going to be taking it deep into Azeroth. We're going to be taking it into the world of the healer. We're going to get into the raid. We're going to get into the group. We're going to get into Hellfire Citadel right now. We're going to get into the mythic dungeons, and we're going to get behind the driver's seat of the Resto Shaman, the Resto Druid, the Disc and Holy Priest. You know, we're gonna get into the shoes of the healer and talk about the crap, the absolute living shit, in my opinion, that healers are having to deal with right now in World of Warcraft when it comes to their throughput, their numbers, these things called SCADA and raid count, all that stuff. Hell, I think Doctadajman and I can have a 2-hour conversation about that. But join us next week, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty details on that. And as always, my fellow geeks and nerds, remember to always mark out with those controllers out, and we'll see you all later.
Peace.